What's up, guys? I've had a lot of requests for this video and I figured I would stop putting it off and give the people what they want. Today I'm going to go over the state of my collection. I'll list out all my active credit cards. I'll talk about the limits each card has and how I use the card or why I got it in the first place. Because there are a couple cards in this list that I don't ever use, and even one that I've never used, ever. This list has changed quite a bit since my last State of the Collection video, where I explained why I had 24 credit cards. Since then, I've had to let a few go, product changed at least one, and I've gotten a few new ones. Guys, this one could be a little longer than normal, so grab yourself a cold beverage, slap that subscribe button, and enjoy a brief insight into my credit card madness. We are going to start with the most popular issuer in the game, and this is also where most of my new cards come from. You guys know I'm an Amex man, but it just so happens I have more Chase cards than any other issuer. And it's because, for one, they have some of the best cards in the game, but they also have some serious hitters on the business side. So let me jump right into this. These will be in no particular order. First off, I have the Chase Amazon Prime card. I've had it for a very long time. I've used it off and on, and I really turn it up when I'm focused on that cash back. It's just an easy card to love, and it has an $8,000 limit. Chase seems to be one of the more conservative lenders when it comes to limits. And I also want to note that I rarely ever care about limits, and I don't think I've ever asked for any increase. So pretty much what I get is what I get. Next up, staying with the consumer side of Chase, is the Sapphire Preferred with a $10,000 credit limit. The only reason I got this card was for the elevated sign-up bonus and to challenge the Chase 524 rule. I don't need this card for any other reason, so at the year mark, it will either become a Freedom Flex or a Sapphire Reserve. We shall see what needs I have at that time, but it will definitely not stay a Sapphire Preferred. And that is because I went on a full blitzkrieg for Chase business cards recently, and I picked up the Chase Business Inc. Preferred. I got this one when I was well over 524, and I want to keep this card as my key to Chase transfer partners. I think it earns better than my Sapphire card, and I really like the 3 times on a broad travel category. The card has a $13,000 credit limit, which is perfectly fine for me. If you want any additional information about any of these cards, or any cards really, check out my super organized card link in the description below. Using my link helps the channel, and it allows me to provide you with mostly unsponsored content, since I know that's what you guys prefer. And I want to thank you guys in advance. Continuing on the Chase business card trail, I picked up 2 Business Inc. cash cards. I got these during the awesome 90,000 point bonus. And the Inc. cash card was a card I wanted for years and was never able to get. To me, it's one of, if not the best no annual fee business card out there, because it just flat out earns. It earns 5 times Chase UR points on cable, internet, and phone, as well as office supply stores. And if you've been in the game for a while, you understand how valuable 5 times at office supply stores can be. I'm fortunate enough to have 2 of these cards, not only for double the bonus, but the card's 5X categories have a $25,000 yearly limit. And I hope to one day maybe push that limit. Who doesn't want to earn 125,000 Chase UR points yearly on just one card? The credit limits on these 2 cards are $10,000 and $14,000. I think if you are a collector of Chase UR points, this card is a must-have for your collection. Now, I currently have 8 Chase cards, which is a little ironic if you follow the channel. So we'll continue down this list. Next up, I have the Chase Business Inc. Unlimited. This card has a credit limit of $11,000, and honestly, this one was probably just for the bonus. Of course, it could always be changed to a 3rd Inc. cash card, but that would be a little excessive. And of course, I'm not one to overdo it, right? I don't really use this card, and the 1.5x earnings pretty much put it in the sock drawer, at least for now. 2 more on the Chase business list. Now, one reason I like Chase business cards is because I have one of my business accounts and my main personal account with Chase Bank. So it's nice to have a lot of products together, and I've had a good relationship with Chase through the years. Next card is the Business Hyatt card with a funny little $5,000 limit. I use this card for, you guessed it, Hyatt stays. I have paid cash for some of the more affordable Hyatt stays, and that's mostly because this card gives me a $50 statement credit twice a year on Hyatt properties. It also gives me a business discount on rates. I think from what I've seen, it's a few dollars off a night. The most I think I've seen is maybe $13 less per night, but hey, that could add up. I don't do a ton of paid stays, and I mostly got this one for the bonus, and I don't think it'll make it past year one. And my final Chase card is the Chase Business IHG Premier card. This is a really great card, earns well, had a huge 165,000 point bonus, and comes with an anniversary night, all for a $95 annual fee. I think the IHG program is underrated, especially overseas, and this card is a keeper card for me. It will likely fall behind Hilton and Hyatt as far as stays, but it will be used as long as I'm traveling. And although I plan to travel less, that doesn't mean less than a normal person. I'll probably still hit 6 to 8 trips in a down year. Chase gave me $9,000 on this one, and that is plenty for me. Okay guys, that's all my Chase cards. I could have made an entire video just on those. Next up, Capital One. Now, I've been with Capital One since I've been in the rewards game. Both of these cards are two of my oldest accounts. The first one, the Capital One Venture one, used to be a Venture card. I actually bought a full-size van to tailgate with this card at one time. Very cool van. During the pandemic though, the credit limit was scratched all the way down to $5,000, and I still call Capital One every 6 months asking to change it to a Saver one. My other Capital One card is the Venture X, which used to be a Quicksilver card. I product changed and missed out on that big bonus, but with Capital One's unpredictable approvals, I thought it was a decent move considering I never used the Quicksilver. The card has a $30,000 credit limit, and I will be honest with this one. I'm not sure how long this one will last in the collection, because even though it's a great card, it just does not get used, and I'm not a fan of the travel credit annual fee setup for this one. But I am a fan of the Capital One Lounge, so maybe that will help its case. The next issuer is USAA. Now, I use USAA for all my insurance products, and I got this card when I learned banks would give me money to use their cards. I'm not even sure what the card is called, but it earns 1.5% cash back, and it has a $25,000 credit limit. I have no plans for this one since USAA won't let me product change it. Next up, we have everyone's favorite issuer to hate. Yes, let the hate flow through you. I currently have 2 Wells Fargo products. The first is the Wells Fargo Autograph card. This card started its life as the Propel card that was actually really popular. The Autograph is a great cashback card that I have never used, and I don't know if I ever will. I think one day I'll see about changing this one to something more useful, at least for me. As of now, it has a $10,000 limit. My other Wells Fargo card is the Choice Rewards Select MasterCard. It only has a $6,000 limit, but no one is going to spend more than $6,000 on a Choice hotel. I got this card for the bonus, and the yearly points bonus could very well make this a keeper card. There are several Cambria hotels I want to stay at, starting with the one in New Orleans. The card also earns well, and I think could be a great card for a backup program for someone who likes to travel. Citi is an issuer that I've only recently gotten into, and I think they are actually criminally underrated. I think their trifecta is tip-top for sure, and I hope to one day complete that. Right now, I have the Citi Premier, which I got during a 80,000 point bonus offer. The card has an $11,000 limit, and I think it could slide in as an everyday earning card if my setup would move towards a more budget-friendly annual fee setup. I have the card for the earnings and for access to the Citi transfer partners, which I think are very, very good. I pair it with the Citi Custom Cash that has a really odd credit limit of $12,400. I keep that card and I try to use it in a 5% category each month, and I've recently found a way to optimize that, so that card is giving me super value. My third Citi card is the A Advantage Business Select Platinum MasterCard from American Airlines. It's an airline card that I don't need, but when I call Citi, they credit the $95 annual fee. The card currently has a $6,700 credit limit, and I rarely use it, but American Airlines is probably my most flown domestic carrier, so it does come in handy when I check bags. US Bank is another overlooked issuer if you are Team Cashback. One of my favorite cards I have is the US Bank Cash Plus card. Right now I'm using it to get 5% cash back on all my home utilities and electronic stores, but I don't really use it at any stores. The card has a healthy $20,500 limit, and I'll keep this one as long as they let me. My other US Bank card is the US Bank Business Triple Cash. The card earns 3% back on a number of business categories, including gas. I don't use it, but I can see several scenarios where this card becomes relevant for something other than the $500 bonus it came with. The card also has a nice limit of $28,000. Well guys, we are just over halfway through here, and it's a long list. Don't forget to check out my card link in the description below for all your new credit card needs. Navy Federal Credit Union is the largest credit union in the world, and they have a couple really good cards if you're Team Cashback. I have the flagship rewards card, and for a $49 annual fee, you get 3% back on a broad travel category and 2% back on everything else. Navy Federal comes with a whole host of benefits that make its cards worthwhile, and this one has a credit limit of $26,000, and I bring this one with me when I leave the country because of its versatility and the fact that it's easier to use for a cash advance in an emergency. I have a card from one of my regional banks that I've ironically never even seen before. Park National uses Elan Financial, which is owned by US Bank. Elan administers the credit card programs for small, local, and regional banks, and it uses the template from US Bank cards. The Max Cash Rewards card mimics the US Bank Cash Plus and gives the user 5% back on 2 different categories of their choosing. I use this card to get 5% cash back on entertainment, like sports tickets, and recreation, which I use for sporting goods and stuff like that for the boy. Easy card to use, no annual fee, and it has a $15,000 limit. I have a SoFi MasterCard that gives 2% cash back, but I've never used it. The card has a $12,500 limit. I also have a Fidelity Visa Signature that gets 2% back into my Fidelity brokerage account. I don't use this card anymore, but this was one of my main cards that I used to help me purchase a single family home to be used as a rental property. I'll always love this card for its ability to help me invest the cash back I earned. It has a $19,000 limit and it lives in the sock drawer. Recently, I acquired the Bank of America, Air France, KLM, Flying Blue MasterCard with a $22,500 credit limit, and I got this card for its limited time 70,000 Flying Blue miles bonus that I will use to fly business class to Europe in style. Not sure if this card will make it to year 2 or not, considering it does have an $89 annual fee. I also recently got the Discover It card to help along with my cashback journey. The card has an $8,000 limit and it's known as one of the 5% rotating category cards. I am going to be able to max this one out in year 1, so the no annual fee card will always have a place for some easy cash back. Okay guys, so I know some of you watch the channel regularly and you know I'm an American Express fanboy. I've had a ton of American Express cards, but I've also canceled a lot of their cards. This is my current Amex list of cards and their limits. Obviously, no preset limits on the charge cards. The Big Daddy travel card is still the Amex Platinum card. The $695 annual fee is hard to swallow, but I use as many of the credits as I can, and I use a lot of the benefits, my favorite being the lounge access. I just don't know what I'd do if I had to sit out in the bullpen with Adam's kids while eating a $37 cheeseburger. No thank you, I don't deserve to live like that. I also carry the gold card. Now I have said a million times I hate the credits because I don't order food like that, but I can't find any other way to rack up MR points like I do with 4 times on dining and groceries with this gold card. One day I'll get fed up with the credits and the $250 annual fee, but for now it's helping me travel the world for less. Completing the Amex trifecta is one of the best business cards out there, the Blue Business Plus. 2 times MR points on everything, no fees, and this one has a $10,000 limit. This one is a no-brainer for many of us, and it will always be part of the wallet, even when it's not getting used a ton. My final 3 American Express cards are all Hilton co-branded cards. My primary hotel is Hilton, and I found lots of ways to get tons of value from their program and their cards. I have the Hilton Business Card. I got this for the super high bonus of 130 Hilton Honors points and a free night certificate. I also spent the requisite $15,000 this year to get another free night certificate. The card has a $10,000 limit. My final two cards in this collection are Hilton Aspire cards. No introduction needed. You guys know why I have them. My original Aspire has a $30,000 credit limit, and my second Aspire began life as a Hilton Surpass card, and it has a $20,000 limit. Both cards carry a $450 annual fee. I currently have around 1.2 million Hilton points and 4 free night certs that I plan to get more than $12,000 of value from next year. Stay tuned for plenty of Hilton redemption videos. Guys, this was a long one, so I'll close it out as quick as possible. Check out my card link in the description, and if you've watched all the way to the end, I thank you and I appreciate every single one of you.